Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am your host, your friendly older classmate, and I am absolutely thrilled to dive into a brand new, super hilarious adventure with you today. Seriously, you are in for a treat. Grab your backpacks, tie your shoes up nice and tight, and get comfortable because we are heading straight into the wacky, wonderful, and completely unpredictable world of a girl named Dory. And you know what the absolute best part of today is? While we follow Dory through all of her wild playground drama and her crazy classroom chaos, we are going to learn 10 golden English sentences. These aren't just any sentences either. These are superpowers that you can actually use with your own friends at school tomorrow. So are you ready to jump into the story? Let's do this.
Okay, here is our class schedule for today's Explainer. First, we will meet wacky girl Dory. Second, we're going to face her fierce little soccer rival. Third, we'll see exactly what happens if friends argue on the playground. Fourth, we are going to crash an absolutely joyful, totally chaotic alien birthday party. And finally, we will review our 10 golden school sentences.
Period 1. Meet wacky girl Dory.
Now, to really understand Dory, you have to know that she is the youngest kid in her family, and everyone actually calls her Rascal. Why Rascal? Well, because she is literally always getting into the absolute funniest situations. She has an imagination that is just out of this world. Let's take a look at what happens at her house when she decides, out of nowhere, that she absolutely must have a pet. Dory looks around her neighborhood and realizes something that she thinks is totally tragic. Everyone else seems to have a pet except her. Some kids have fluffy cats, some have bouncy dogs, but Dory, she has absolutely nothing. So she complains to her family, whining at the top of her lungs, "It's not fair!" And guys, this brings us to our very first golden sentence. Think about when you were on the playground and someone takes the very last swing, or maybe your older brother gets a way bigger piece of chocolate cake than you. This is exactly what you say. Now, it is your turn. I want you to say it out loud with me, with feeling. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's not fair! Great job. That was perfect. But Dory doesn't just want any normal pet. Oh no, she wants a rooster. Yes, you heard me right, a loud, squawking, feathered rooster. Her poor mom is just standing in the kitchen trying to make dinner, but Dory drops right down to her knees, begging and pleading like her life depends on it. She looks up and says, "If you love me, you'll buy a rooster. Just say yes." And right there is your next golden phrase. This is the absolute perfect sentence for when you really, really want your parents or your friends to just agree with whatever wild idea you have. Let's practice it with some real dramatic flair. Honestly, drop to your knees if you want to. Repeat after me. Ready? Just say yes. Fantastic. You guys are naturals. Let's move on to another hilarious moment at Dory's house. So Dory's punishment for breaking a window earlier in the day is that she has to wash all the dishes. Pretty standard, right? But while she is up to her elbows in soapy water, she suddenly hears a crackly, faraway alien voice. It scares her so much that she jumps, and her elbow knocks a plate right off the kitchen counter. Smash! It shatters everywhere. When her mom yells from the other room to ask what on earth just broke, Dory totally blames it on an alien and a flying saucer. Can you imagine? Her exhausted mom just rubs her eyes and asks, "Are you joking?" This right here is our third superpower sentence. You use this one when a classmate tells you a story that is just way too crazy to believe. Say it with me in a really shocked, unbelievable voice. Ready? Are you joking? Excellent delivery.
Period 2. Little soccer field rival.
All right, the bell has rung and it is time for recess. Well, actually, in Dory's world, it's time for her very first soccer practice. Her mom gets her a pair of her older brother's hand-me-down soccer cleats, but these aren't just any old boring cleats. They have massive lightning bolts on the sides. Dory puts them on and feels like she literally has rockets in her bones. She is totally ready to dominate the field. But here's the thing about Dory. Before she can conquer that soccer field, she is always running off somewhere. Whether she is trying to escape her teenage babysitter Judy or sprinting away from her imaginary monster friend Mary to go on a top-secret space adventure, Dory's absolute favorite thing to shout as she runs out the door is, "I gotta go." This is your fourth golden phrase. It is exactly what you need to say when the recess bell rings and you need to sprint straight to the cafeteria to get a good seat. Let's practice saying it really fast, just like Dory when she's zooming away. Ready? I gotta go. Perfect. So fast. Now, you should probably know that Dory has an imaginary nemesis. Her name is Mrs. Gobblecracker, and she is a highly dangerous robber. But one day, something super crazy happens. Mrs. Gobblecracker shows up wearing a referee whistle around her neck. She tells Dory that she just got back from outer space. She says she doesn't want to be a robber anymore because her trip to outer space showed her she already has everything she needs in life. She looks right at Dory, completely serious, and says, "Goodbye, game over." And boom, this brings us to golden sentence number 5. It is the ultimate coolest phrase for when playtime is completely finished or a match is officially done. Let's say it together in a really serious cool action hero voice. Ready? Game over. Oh wow, that was awesome.
So Dory finally makes it to the soccer field in her lightning cleats. But when she gets there, she sees her good friend Rosabelle sitting alone on the bench, crying. Now, Rosabelle is a girl who absolutely loves to dress up in old-fashioned clothes, like bonnets and aprons like she's from the 1800s. But her dad, who happens to be the soccer coach, is forcing her to wear modern soccer cleats, and she hates it. Dory immediately runs up to her crying friend to check on her. Whenever you see a classmate looking sad or upset on the playground, you should always ask this very caring question. Practice it with me right now in a really soft, gentle voice. Ready? What's the matter? That was beautiful. That's how you show you're a good friend.
Dory, however, is definitely not crying. She is full of massive ambition today. She is running around telling everyone who will listen that she is going to score 1 billion goals with her super lightning speed. When her older brother tries to calm her down and tells her she actually needs to practice and keep her eye on the ball, Dory just crosses her arms, looks up confidently, and replies, "I just want to be the best." That brings us to your 7th superpower sentence. Have you ever felt that crazy competitive rocket energy when you're playing a sport or a video game with your friends at school? Let's say it together proudly, with a whole lot of confidence. Shoulders back. Ready? I just want to be the best. Aw, you guys sound like absolute champions right now.
But hold on just a second. We need to talk about something serious. What do you do when a classmate starts copying you? Or even worse, what if they seem to be just a little bit better than you at absolutely everything you try to do? This is a super relatable playground situation, right? We've all been there. Let's see exactly what happens to Dory when she meets her newest teammate.
Enter Valentina. Valentina is Dory's fierce new rival, and I have to tell you, their rivalry is absolutely hilarious to watch. Dory proudly points down and shows off her lightning cleats. Valentina just shrugs, points to her own feet, and shows that she has double lightning cleats. Then Dory brags that she wants a pet rooster that pecks people. Valentina shoots back that she actually had a real rooster, plus a real cat that actively attacks her. So Dory decides to bring out the big guns. She brags about having an imaginary fairy godmother named Mr. Nuggy. But Valentina, she just calmly claims that she actually understands the highly complex mathematical concept of infinity. Literally, no matter what imaginary wacky thing Dory comes up with, Valentina is always one step ahead in reality. It is the ultimate schoolyard rivalry, plain and simple.
Period 3. What if we argue?
So, what do you think happens when two fierce rivals with unstoppable rocket energy end up on the exact same team? The soccer games get incredibly chaotic, that's what. First, the coach has them play a round of red light, green light, and Valentina actually grabs and pulls Dory's shirt to stop her from winning, totally against the rules. Then they play a game of sharks and minnows, and the intense competition turns into a full-blown physical squabble right there on the grass. Coach Andy is yelling from the sidelines, shouting, "Dory, you've got to hustle." But guess what? Dory totally wasn't paying attention when he explained the rules of the game. She mishears him. She hears the word wrestle instead of hustle. So, taking orders from her coach, Dory grabs Valentina, twists her leg, and literally tries to flip her over. Valentina immediately climbs on top of Dory and knees her. Coach Andy comes running over looking totally shocked and horrified, while Dory just looks up innocently and says, "But you said wrestle."
Yeah, the coach is definitely not happy about that, and he immediately puts Dory straight on the bench to cool down. But listen, after a big playground tumble like that, it is so important to check on your friends even if you were just arguing. This is our 8th superpower sentence. When the dust finally settles on the grass, Dory looks over and asks Valentina this essential phrase. Let's practice it together with a soft, genuinely caring voice. Ready? Are you okay? Great work. That is a sentence every single person needs to know how to use.
And do you know what the absolute golden rule of friendship is? It's making up after a fight. Dory's teenage babysitter, Judy, actually gives her some really great advice here. She tells Dory that if you apologize first, the other person will usually soften up and apologize too. Because at the end of the day, when you are on the same team, you just have to stick together. So, Dory takes a deep breath and uses phrase number 9. It is short, it is simple, but it is an absolute must-know for getting along at school. Let's say it out loud together, nice and clear. Ready? I'm sorry. It really does take a lot of bravery to say that, so good job.
Period 4. Joyful alien birthday party.
All right, we have officially survived the muddy, crazy drama of the soccer field. Now it is time for the weekend's really big event. It's time for their teammate George's birthday party. But George is actually having a pretty rough day. He doesn't want to grow up and get older, so he is hilariously crawling around acting exactly like a baby alien whose spaceship just crash-landed on planet Earth. He is even talking in this really funny, squeaky alien voice. But then, guess who shows up? Valentina. And she arrives at the party holding a massive, heavy bag. George gets excited thinking it's a huge birthday present, but Valentina just dumps the entire thing all over the living room floor. It is an entire, exploded bag of hidden Halloween candy. The kids go absolutely wild. They are tossing it high in the air, stuffing their mouths full of chocolate and drooling basically everywhere. They eat pizza, they play an epic game of freeze dance, and George finally stops crying. To celebrate feeling better, he yells out our 10th and final golden sentence. It is a high-energy, super fun celebration phrase. I want you to shout this one out with me as loud as you possibly can. Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's party! Woohoo!
Period 5. Reviewing 10 school sentences.
Wow, what a wild adventure that was. Give yourselves a huge round of applause for completing this crazy story journey with Dory, Valentina, and the baby alien George. You guys did amazing following along. But hey, before that final school bell rings for the day, we need to do a rapid-fire review of your newly acquired English superpowers. Let's take a look at our board of golden sentences. I'm going to call out the number, I'll give you a quick hint about what it means from the story, and I want you to shout the correct English sentence right back at me. Let's go. Number 1, what do you say when you want a rooster and literally nobody will let you have one? Shout it out. That's right, it's not fair. Number 2, when you're dropping to your knees begging your mom. Yes, just say yes. Number 3, when someone actually blames a broken dinner plate on a flying saucer. Perfect, are you joking? Number 4, when that recess bell rings and you need to run out the door. I gotta go. Number 5, when the imaginary robber decides to quit and go home. Game over. Number 6, when your good friend is sitting on the bench crying. What's the matter? Number 7, when you have literal rocket energy in your soccer boots. I just want to be the best. Number 8, what to say after you accidentally tackle your teammate in the grass. Are you okay? Number 9, the absolute golden rule of making up. I'm sorry. And finally, number 10, when the giant bag of Halloween candy explodes on the floor. Let's party. You guys are seriously incredible. You absolutely crushed that review. And just like that, it brings us to the end of our class today in this explainer. You've successfully survived the intense soccer rivalries, the weird alien invasions, and the massive candy explosions. Now, as you pack up your bags, I want to leave you with one final, very important question to think about. Which of these golden sentences are you going to use at school tomorrow? Will you ask a sad friend, "What's the matter?" to cheer them up? Or will you just shout, "Let's party!" when you sit down at lunch? Make sure to take these powerful sentences into your own real-life playground adventures. Keep learning, keep playing, and this friendly older classmate will see you next time. Bye, everyone!